just this way.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, brother. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Not too bad. Finally managed to get here. Been meaning to come here for quite a while. It's not just a normal English cafe. You do Indian dishes in this cafe.
That's right. So we do Indian street food, chaats. We do some curries, and we're going to try and do a couple of variations of our signature dish, which is Aloo Tikki Chaat.
All right. You carry on.
So this is our small house. So we're going to use the tikkis that are handmade in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And we're going to use an air fryer. So this is a little bit of a semi-professional environment. It's quite different to our restaurant. So we're going to put this at 200 degrees. And we're just going to leave that there for about 7 minutes. I'm going to add another one there. So these are nice and warm.
So this is a fryer.
So it's a Philips air fryer, and it just cooks without oil.
Alright.
So the spicy chickpeas are cooked in our restaurant and shipped to us. So I'm going to take a small portion. Again, we only use olive oil. Yeah, so just a dab of olive oil, just to line up the pan. And we're just going to quickly bring this to the boil. I'm going to crank it up now. We'll just wait for it to get slight caramelization, just to make sure it's nicely evenly cooked. We'll slightly temper the Chana Masala. So the Chana Masala is called cumin, called coriander powder, some black pepper, some salt, and that gives it that nice zingy flavor. And just to cut through the spice, we use a little bit of zest, a dab of lemon juice, so we'll just lower it down, let it gently heat up. Just to check on our aloo tikki to see how it's doing. Yeah, it's gaining. Crank this up again. We'll just add a little bit of water in there to ensure that the spices have, and we can crank this up. And once we get the oily layers on the side, we know that it's thoroughly cooked. I'm going to slice some ginger. Don't want too much of it, just slight. Just going to add a little bit of ginger. You've got the outer skin of the chickpeas, which is now starting to come off. And we know it's ready, the masalas are being cooked. We're just going to give this a go, and this is nice and crispy now.
I need to get one of these air fryers.
It is. We're just going to crank this up to also make it toasty. So what we're going to do, we use bloomer bread. We normally use artisan sourdough, or we use bloomer. In India, white bread is actually more popular, so a little bit of butter. And this is a Indian style toasty with a bit of butter. And I'm only going to put the butter on the middle because I'm going to use again olive oil to line this up. we don't really want it to be too liquidy because it will then make the toasties soggy. The aloo tikkis. So that's nice and crisp now. About 71 degrees. And literally we just dab it so it's flat. So you can see the spices. There's lots of turmeric, which is quite healthy. There's cumin, there's a little bit of chili. There's some chili flakes you can see there. And then we're going to use our Kachumber mix, which is some onions, a little bit of tomato and cucumber, just to line this up. And then we're going to use some chaat masala. And then just dab it with some tamarind. I love the taste of tamarind. And normally add a little bit of mint, not too much. Actually, I have added too much, so I'm going to balance it now by using some mango chutney. So we've got sourness from the tamarind, we've got sweetness from the mango chutney, and we've got some freshness from the mint, and the mint also has coriander. So I'm nearly done with this, and I'm just going to literally top this up with some fresh coriander. I'm going to layer this up now. So this is actually ready to go to be eaten non-toasted, but I prefer it to be toasted. So we're just going to use a hot pan. We're just again going to dab it with some oil because we need the caramelization. Lemon juice. There we go, we've got a nice little grid marks on there. We can now slow it down so that it's cooked nice and evenly. Or we can turn it around. We're going to grab our aloo tikkis. So we use 2 tikkis to a portion. You want to make sure that when we do slice them, it's nice and steaming.
Yep.
So you have the crunchiness. And now we have the same melody of chutneys. So we're going to use our house tamarind. Just a dab of mint, because the mint is quite sharp. It's at Patri, we're not shy of cranking up the spice levels to match how you get food in Delhi. Again, to cut through that, we use mango, just a dab. You can also, so it's nicely toasted now, and we've got nice grid marks on there.
Do you mind if I ask you, is it a secret recipe, your sauces, or I have to say what goes in there?
So no, there's no secrets in Patri. We're all about educating customers about Indian food. This is just plain tamarind. You know, all we do is we just season it with some cumin powder, and we just boil the tamarind, and we let it cool. The mango chutney is again a simple, chutney made with mango pulp, and the house mint chutney is using the freshest mint that we can find in the country. Adding bird's eye chili, and we whisk it in the blender, and we add our spice mix. Again, we keep it very simple to make this chutney. It's just salt, black pepper, a little bit of red chili. Okay. So it's as fresh and as honest as possible.
There's coriander.
and coriander in there to bring. So here we use a big drop of onions. The onions can be sharp, so to check the sharpness, sometimes we taste it freehand. And again, I'm going to give it another layer of tamarind to add the sourness. Then we're going to add a little bit more chaat masala. Then we're going to add some coriander. And finally some fresh pomegranate. So this in itself is actually vegan and gluten free. When customers don't mind having dairy, so we can add a drizzle of yogurt, put some save on there as well, and this adds the extra layer of crispiness. So that's our house aloo tikki chaat. So it's been toasted, we've got nice grit marks. Like in India, we always get big triangles, and that actually works really, really well. You can see the steam coming out, so it's nicely toasted. It's over the 75 degrees. So it's nice and thick, they only need a dab, not too much. And again, we can add a little bit of cheese. And now this is not gluten free anymore because we've added vermicelli. Add a little dab of chaat masala. And finally a little bit of coriander. And that's our aloo tikki toasty. Railway style. That's how you would get it on the platforms and the trains of India. And that's how I like to eat it at home. So it's stuff that we usually make at home. Customers have now taken to our food.
I have to tell you, that's absolutely delicious. I'm going to have to take another bite while it's still freshly made.
So here I'm now fishing for those 4 or 5 ginger pieces that were put in the end to give it that kick. So that's what I've been trying to find. I had 2 of them in my mouth and they gave me some amazing flavors. And the way this chaat is designed, the yard is in the spooning, so that bit there will be quite sour, and this bit with the mango chutney should be quite sweet, and with the aloo tikki there, that should be quite gooey. And I need some freshness from the coriander. I like the popping sound of the pomegranate. Ooh, I had that kick that I was looking for. Yeah, the ginger cake, the crunch in my mouth from the pomegranate. When you go to Delhi, you experience these layers of flavors, and that's what we try and replicate using different sauces, chaat masalas, different toppings like vermicelli. Sometimes we use raw mango powder. Sometimes it could be just a simple jeera, which is a cumin roast drizzle on top, just to elevate flavors to that next level, to give customers the taste of India. There isn't a fixed recipe that we follow in chaats. It's very intuitive. Chaatwalas in India, the key is always in the prep, like we did today. Getting the aloo tikkis prepped up in time, getting the chickpeas ready, but the final finishing is always done on the fly. You kind of play with the taste buds, and that's what we're looking to achieve in our cafe and also in our restaurants. That should just be potato and aloo tikki.
So the aloo tikki is very crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. A subtle blend of spices in there, the turmeric, dhana, cumin, coriander. Not oily, because you use an air fryer. Sauces are very fresh tasting. It all comes together perfectly. The mango's got the sweetness, the tamarind's got the additional sweetness, the tanginess from there as well. You've got an additional sweet and sourness from the pomegranate seed once you bite into it. On the first bite, I wasn't sure what I was getting the heat from, but it was actually the ginger, warm gingery heat. The chickpeas perfectly cooked. And it's got just the right level of spices, zestiness from the lemon juice. You've been generous with the sprinkle of pomegranate. And after the spiciness of the chana masala, it kind of cleanses the palate, the pomegranate. This is the kind of food that makes me want to go back to India now. If I can't go to India straight away, then having the food from India is the next best thing. Could close my eyes and have this food and I could be eating on a stall somewhere in India. Thank you.
You made my day.
So the fact that you made the chat fresh and served it fresh, it retained that crunch which it should have. It hasn't become soggy. That's how a chat should be. Aloo tikki, it wasn't over oily, but it still had that crispness. You haven't done the lazy thing of putting it in the microwave and reheating it. You've made the extra effort of heating it in an air fryer.
The reason why we use the air fryer, because this is a semi-professional environment, we invite parents to come and have a look in our kitchen as to how we do things. Our food is about cross-utilizing and zoning in on the versatile textures and giving it your own twist. Aloo tikki toasty. And Delhiites are known to have a big appetite, and
you can just see the aloo tikki there. You can see a little bit of chickpeas there. You can see the kachumber, which is onion, tomato and cucumber. Let's have a bite and see what it tastes like. So I'm going to take another bite while it's still piping hot. So I have to say, absolutely delicious.
Oh, thank you.
Genuinely delicious.
Thank you.
As soon as you bite into it, because it's freshly toasted, you've got that satisfying crisp crunch coming from the toast, but then you've got additional crunch from the onion, cucumber, the tanginess, the sweet sour taste of the chutneys, the tamarind, the mango, very fresh tasting. It's not over oily. It's got some slight heat, chili heat, some spices from the Chana masala and the aloo tikki.
this is for me a taste of home. It's tangy, there's sweetness, there's sourness, there's a bit of crunch, there's a bit of gooiness from the aloo tikki, good with the white bread. I mean, it could do with a little bit more tomato, maybe a slice of tomato. I actually don't mind dipping this in some yogurt as well to give it that coolness in the summer. Oh, it's great. I'm happy with it.
I'm glad you're happy, because I'm more than happy with it. Thank you.
I'm quite fussy.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you, brother. God bless. Bye-bye.